7:51 here, Big 550 KTRS. The Summer Rocks concert series, it ain't rocking in the city of St. Louis. Nick Pister has been on this story from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, McGraw.
So what happened?
Well, essentially last year, this company came to town. They were called ICM Partners. They're affiliated with ICM, the big talent agency out in Los Angeles. And they said, we would like to put on these concerts. This was last March. They said we need to do it right away, though. So it was really sped through the Board of Aldermen. And, they promised two giant concerts, basically a year, one in Memorial Day weekend and one in Labor Day weekend. There would be these music festivals, and the one that they've proposed for Memorial Day weekend is not going to occur, which is what we've learned last Friday. What reason for that, we don't know. ICM did not really return any of my calls or emails over the course of several days last week, and we can only speculate what the reasons are. It could either be poor planning, they're not ready, they've never done a giant concert like this. It's being billed as on the scale of Lollapalooza, but we're also told that the idea for Labor Day weekend, that appears to be in question as well, and I think many people would be very surprised if they're able to put a concert on then. There's been no promotion for anything, certainly not for Memorial Day weekend, which we know through the city is canceled, and there has been no promotion for anything in Labor Day. Meanwhile, a lot of these giant music festivals in other places like Lollapalooza in Chicago or Bonnaroo in Tennessee and places like that, they're already sending out their list about who's going to be appearing where. So that sort of leaves downtown St. Louis in a place where it was hoping to have these concerts at least in 2015. The city is saying all along that they had said that this could be a long process, that it might not happen immediately. But I can tell you, when this was being proposed last year, the guys from LA came and they said, we got to get this through the Board of Aldermen, tomorrow, or we're not going to be able to do this. And they had even said that they were looking at doing a test event last year to see how things could go. It would be a smaller event. That never happened. So it's sort of leaving people with the impression that they may not be able to pull this off at all.
Nick, the city of St. Louis signed a 10-year exclusive deal with this company, right?
They did sign a 10-year exclusive deal. However, so it pushed out a lot of events on those weekends that might be there. However, that deal is not, it's not, a huge as far as cost to the city. They don't really lose anything. They will get paid a fee. It's not a large fee. I think it's like $25,000 to $50,000 that they'll get paid for, because this company's not doing the concert here. But it's certainly not a lot of money in the scheme of things.
Has this company ever put on any concert anywhere?
To my knowledge, this would be the first type of thing they've ever done in this sort of event planning thing. Now, they are a talent agency. They represent a lot of big name talent people in the music industry and in Hollywood as well. So it's not like, it's some fly-by-night operation. Just they've never done something like this. And we're not exactly sure, whose idea it was, like how much. I think one thing that this concert was needing is investors. They actually needed to take this, at least that's what they were telling us in March, that they need to go take it to investors and go to the different people and get the talent lined up. And that's just been taking quite some time. And I got to tell you, I've asked ICM for comment on this over several days last week. I kind of, got the impression, they just had no interest in talking to me after, several days of, first they responded with some information, then it was just completely a black hole.
Do you think they gave the mayor any indication of why? You would think they'd have to provide them with some type of explanation why they couldn't deliver.
Yeah, the mayor's chief of staff, Jeff Rainford, told me that the main reason is just planning, that they've never done something on this scale, that they've not done something this large, so it could take a while. And the mayor did say when this was proposed in March that there's no guarantee that these would ever occur. However, in the rush, I was at many of these Board of Aldermen meetings where the guys flew out from LA and they were talking how this needed to be done immediately. They couldn't wait a month. They couldn't wait 2 months for people to debate it, because a lot of people in the local music community were very concerned. It needed to happen right now because they were ready to go right now. and that's not the case.
Nick, this left a bad taste in a lot of people's craw, including the people from Lou Fest, who put on a great festival in Forest Park, and some of the Taste of St. Louis venues that have decided either because of this or in spite of this or just feeling slighted, decided to move out of downtown St. Louis.
Yeah, there's been, Lou Fest, which is actually put on by a company that puts on Lollapalooza. They're based out of Austin, Texas, I believe. There was some upset there. And some people are kind of wondering, is there some larger concert promotion thing going on that maybe LA wanted to come in and just sort of lock down the St. Louis market and not have it compete with anywhere else they might be trying to do a concert? We just don't know a lot of those details yet. But a lot of the local musicians were upset. The guy who put on Taste of St. Louis said, it forced him to move to Chesterfield. However, he had announced a move, a couple of weeks prior to that. So we don't really know what was going on there, but we do know where, Taste of St. Louis is gone, Blues Fest is gone, and these concerts are not going to happen. So we kind of have this area where there's not a lot going on in downtown St. Louis as far as those types of events. Taste of St. Louis brought a lot of people downtown.
Also,
sure.
Rib America's moving out to Newtown, too. So there's another downtown deal.
The city does say they're planning a large rib fest of some sort of barbecue fest. On the scale of Taste of St. Louis, I haven't seen the exact details on that or what that'll be. Yeah. They're trying to say that they've got other talent planned.
When are we going to, Nick, we are out of time, but when are we going to know about Labor Day concert with this company?
I think they have 180 days as their deadline before Labor Day that they have to say whether they're coming or not.
So we have 180 days. All right, thank you. Nick Pister via Skype from his bunker somewhere in St. Louis. Nick, be safe. Thanks for checking in.
Bye.